So I don't like horror. I can't understand the emotion of going somewhere, paying money, कि अब मुझे डराओ. I find it so scary. But if I'm getting paid to scare people, any day.
And what is your go-to comfort movie?
Mr. India. Seen it some 35, 37 times.
Oh my
I
god.
can't get over it.
Oh
I'm
my
obsessed with that film.
A dating tip or a relationship advice to two people?
Oh God, I'll need some. Something upsetting happens online. The first thing everyone wants is a reaction. When pigs play, they sling mud at you. So if you sling mud back, you'll firstly get dirty and the pigs will have a wonderful time.
Hey guys, I'm Manjari Mukherjee and you are watching me on Pop Diaries channel. Well, I'm in a lamba conversation with one of my most favorite actors. She top 5 में आती है वो, मैं बता रही हूँ. Because I love watching people who can give me creative satisfaction. And she is one such person. And I'll tell you why. When you look at characters, when they are written, वो कभी कभार bland रखते हैं. But she is an actor who breathes life into them. And you cannot think of that character as any other way than what she has portrayed it. Well, you have already guessed it. I know that. It's none other than one of the most favorite actors of our time, Nimrat Kaur.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But I am truly top 5 mein hai because I am like that kind of a person. I love movies. I have grown up watching movies and I've always been an enthusiast of watching movies and different kind. So I love when I feel satisfied after watching a film, and that has always been the case when I watched a film from your perspective, your character, and it has always left a very lasting impact on me.
So nice to know, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
and my
you.
favorite being, I've already told you, my favorite being The Lunchbox. I cannot forget that film at all. So it will stay with me throughout my life.
That's so nice to know. Thank you.
But you have done such versatile characters. And I only want to know that after doing so many versatile characters, one after the other, has this always been like, I will only do characters which are, very unconventional and doesn't have the stereotypical touch to it, but I will stay unconventional and very real?
I don't personally think that any character is stereotypical, because then there is a chance of me not being able to work hard at something if I just need to keep things simple and plain. You know, you can very quickly slip into histrionics and overplaying something just because you want to make it interesting. So I don't think of characters or the parts that come to me as typical or stereotypical or boring. I feel like sometimes there's so much beauty in something that's so plain and regular, which is probably why you remember The Lunchbox.
Absolutely.
Because if you just individually look at those people, you know, they're so simple and they're literally people you will not even maybe register when you walk past them on the road.
Absolutely.
But it's the simplicity which brings out the beauty in those people.
That's
you know,
very true.
it's just they're just one of us, and then yet there is something extraordinary about them. So I'm all about extracting the extraordinary from the ordinary, you know. So I really, really enjoy that when I read something, or mostly when I hear something, when I hear a script. My first interest is the story. Always. Is it an interesting story, the beginning, middle, end? Do I want to get till the end? Do I want to know what happens? Or, you know, if I want to move along with the story, and within that I can enjoy the arc of the character that's given to me, or the part I'm playing, whether it's leading the plot or it's one of the people in it, whatever it is, I have to be engaged by both things equally. And then I get into, you know, imagining, okay, what is it that I can bring to it that will be exciting for people to see, and they will want to invest in figuring out what happens.
Wow.
You know, like it's actually a very natural kind of a process. It's like you were saying before we started, you know, that you can't you want to stay invested in the characters. So that is something that is a personal commitment, that I shouldn't feel bored while I'm doing something, or I shouldn't feel like, oh, you know, ye to maine kitni bari kar liya, ya oh god, not again. And you know, wo mera ek, you know, that is my commitment to what I do. So if I'm engaged and if I'm interested, somewhere I feel like, you might not be able to, you won't be able to gloss over something,
And we can't. And that is so cool. I mean, this process, when you hear it, it feels like कि बहुत मेहनत है. But then you also say कि this is a very natural process. This is
Yeah.
something like an instinct for you to go to. So that makes it very special, because people literally just gloss over these kind of characters in real life. We don't pay so much of attention.
Right.
But there's something which is so beautiful, and you make it beautiful. But has it always been in the plan for you to become an actor, or was there always a plan B also to fall back on?
No, there was never any plan B. There was no, okay, if this doesn't work out, then I'll become something else. There was none of that. But it took me some time to get to letting myself know that, okay, I have the courage to maybe try this profession as a living. And then to tell my family, because I'm not from the industry, I'm from, the armed forces. Papa was in the army. We grew up in cantonments. And then to tell mom after college, ki mama, I think I want to go to Bombay. It was a tough decision. And then not knowing was a part of that, ki pata nahi hoga kya. So I gave myself 6 months, and then I thought, okay, I'll see if this becomes something, and if I can start to earn money by being in the business and, doing ads or modeling and slowly music videos, whatever comes my way. So it was not always a career choice. But I figured that yaar, ye regular job nahi ho payega, after college. That was something that I knew.
Wow. And at least वो clarity थी.
हाँ, मुझे हमेशा ये पता होता है कि क्या मुझसे नहीं होगा. That is more important to me than मुझसे क्या होगा.
Same here.
Because then आपके by process of elimination आप पहुंच ही जाते हो वहां तक जहां पे आपसे चीजें आपके सामने वो आ रही है जो आप करोगे फिर.
वही exactly. मेरे साथ भी same होता है. Although I am still not reached where I want to reach.
Not have I. It's all of us.
That's also true.
We're not. The day anyone in this room feels like, oh yeah, I've arrived. I've reached where I wanted to reach. फिर वो problematic है, फिर हो गया.
But when you enter the industry, I've always seen this like a pattern. And it's not just like stereotyping someone or putting them in a box or anything of that sort. It's like, अगर कोई बहुत talented आता है, if there is someone who's very talented, and as I told you also, they do a certain kind of character, which in a way, brings out the extraordinary from the most simplest characters or the most ordinary characters that people gloss over. They don't take it too well when they are doing something which is very conventional, like wearing a chiffon sari, being in a very Yash Raj type ka film kar liya, jahan pe she's this heroine, she's doing that stereotypical heroine chiffon sari song and everything. They don't take that well to it, especially the audience. They want to see them in that one way that they have always seen them. Give us creative characters, give us content driven characters. Has this been the case with you also? Have you thought कि maybe the audience will not accept me in that character?
I feel like, when I came into the business, which was with the Lunchbox in 2013, I think that at that time, the grammar of the film industry was very, very different. I don't know if you recall, but there was a wave of independent films.
Yes.
Stuff that was just breaking through the clutter.
Yeah.
And everybody was, all eyes were there. कि यहाँ से इस space से क्या आ रहा है? कौन से actors आ रहे हैं? And then you had a wave of, all kinds of, fabulous performances, fabulous subjects, actors, female actors, कितना कुछ. तो ये जो आप बात बोल रहे हो ना, ये शायद 10 साल पहले या शायद 15 साल पहले की बात थी. I feel like the time where I started my work in the business, this was not really a question. And the unconventionality of paths can't just be what I have grown up seeing, actually. I have grown up seeing Yash Raj movies and, where, Madhuri Dixit and Sridevi and, like those are the people I watched and I wanted to become an actor because of. But by the time I came into the business, I think the requirements and I feel the unconventionality of paths have changed. Right. Especially after the OTT explosion.
Yeah. Yes.
So now the female character or the kind of a heroine, for instance, Queen happened, or a dirty picture happened, or when Tabu ma'am has kind of gone and done all kinds of iconic roles. I mean, I can't even, like I just know that she's so brilliant that there's no one part that you know I just remember Virasat, I remember Heather, I remember. What I'm trying to say is that there are so many different kinds of path breaking paths people have been able to do, which don't necessarily fit into any type.
Yeah.
It's just what's engaging, what's interesting. Have you seen women like these before? No, you haven't. If you still want to, then that's path breaking, or then that is something that the audience wants to watch. I feel like what the audience wants to watch is also constantly changing. ऐसा तो
That
नहीं
is
है
also
कि
true.
the
Yeah.
conventional Hindi film where it's song and dance, which is also really lovely. I personally love it. I go to the movies to enjoy that stuff.
Yes,
I
do.
am,
I do.
I'm a conventional movie goer. I'll go watch a film by myself if I have to. I don't sit at home and watch, stuff that much. So I do know that people also have different wants, expectations, and everyone's getting bored so quickly. तो ये तो इनफैक्ट प्रॉब्लम नहीं है और ये आई थिंक कंसर्न भी नहीं है. अगर मिलेगा wonderful, just like I want to attempt horror genre, romantic comedy, or so many different kinds of things that I haven't done. I would like to attempt action again. I've done that only once in the test in the test case.
Yes.
I would like to go back to that. Like, it's so much more than just this one thing, really. So I think somewhere maybe that question also needs to adapt with the changed times. We're in a very different time now.
That is very true and very unpredictable also in a
Yeah,
way.
of course.
So we don't know what will actually click and what will not click with people.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And the minute it clicks, you'll have to find something else.
That's true.
Because वो click हो गया. अब लोग कह रहे हैं हाँ ये तो हो गया click, अभी next क्या?
Exactly. Too much of one thing is also not going to be possible.
Exactly.
But yeah, action would be nice.
Yeah.
But I think horror would be best.
I would love to, but I would love to do.
Yeah, because I feel like that is something that which it's kind of, after doing so many characters and watching you as an audience in so many characters and falling in love with those characters because of you, it would be like, I love horror.
So I don't like horror. I can't understand the emotion of going somewhere, paying money कि अब मुझे डराओ. I find it so scary. But if I'm getting paid to scare people, any day.
No, seriously, I think you should do it because it's untapped and untouched.
You think I have a horror streak?
You'll be really good at it.
Why?
I'm not saying it essay. I'm just saying कि वो होता है ना एक reality. Some people who can do characters which are which you do so well, and still kind of people are like उसके बाद जब वो लोग horror करते हैं तो the way how they do it is so convincing that sets the whole thing in motion.
तो अगली बार अगले इंटरव्यू में ऐसा कुछ फिर डरोगे तो what if you get scared? You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I don't get scared that easily with horror. मैंने बचपन में होता था, अभी नहीं होता.
अभी रुको, मैं करके आपको बताती हूँ.
चलो, good. I'll be there. I'll watch it, definitely. I'll definitely watch it. But now that we're talking about characters, I've always felt this, that when I'm talking to actors, I've always had the time of my life. I think this is the best part of my job. I love it.
Nice.
Sitting down and just having conversations with people, understanding their mentality, understanding them as people. And I feel a little connected to them on a human sense.
Right.
And I feel that this is something which is a very ongoing thing. When I look at actors and when I look at the life, people only look at the brighter side to it. They are doing this, they are doing that shoot, they are doing this ramp walk, they are modeling for that brand, they have this thing in their life. It's a very happening life and etc. But sometimes you don't look at the dull part, the gray parts. And that is something that when you meet that person, you come to know that, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And you don't understand that from a screen and everything. You only relate to what life they are showing off. And I feel that we've reached to a point where right now for each and everything, actors are kind of used as scapegoats for emotional baggage, to empty out your emotional baggage.
Okay.
Especially on social media.
Right.
For trolling, for anything. कुछ भी अगर कहीं पे भी हो जाए, सबसे पहले हम एक्टर्स को स्केपगोट्स बनाते हैं कि भाई इन्होंने क्यों नहीं कुछ बोला, ये नहीं हो रहा, वो क्यों नहीं हो रहा, ये लोग ही कर रहे हैं ये चीज. But as an actor, how do you take that well in your life and take that and take it with a grain of salt and work forward?
So I wouldn't say that I am immune to things that happen online or stuff I see sometimes happening to some other people I really love and respect. And sometimes you notice that something really tragic has happened with somebody.
Yes.
And everyone's just having fun with it.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's the worst
And
thing.
sometimes people around me and they laugh, there'll be memes or whatever, stuff like that happens. But I feel like the most important thing for me is to make sure that I speak to the right people at that time personally, which is my friends and family and closed ones, and that I don't feed the machinery that is looking for that fodder.
Yeah.
Because when something upsetting happens online, the first thing everyone wants is a reaction.
That's very true. Exactly. Like they are waiting only कि कब react करेंगे.
वो एक बचपन में एक saying थी ना that when pigs play, they sling mud at you. So if you sling mud back, you'll firstly get dirty and the pigs will have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do
because
both
they
things.
like lying in that mud.
So basically, it's just what I'm trying to say is that you have to choose your battles in life. These are not important battles. The only way to, I think, somewhere not engage with stuff that is toxic and disrespectful and just baseless and just basically disturbing is to not feed it and is to just go about your life knowing very well that these are cycles that happen with so many people all the time. And this has now unfortunately become part and parcel of being a public personality.
That's right.
This is exactly the kind of stuff that social media brings forth, which is extremely worrying, and I feel like the trickle down effect of that in the society we live in generally is so large that we all need to be very mindful collectively to somewhere take individual responsibility ki what can we do so that we don't contribute to this sewage like setup sometimes.
Absolutely.
So it's our, let's say होता है ना कि आप एक देखते हैं कि sewers are being drained into the river. What can we do to block that individually so that we don't I think poison the water we are drinking from.
Yeah.
So that is our responsibility individually. I do mine, I do my bit, and I think everyone can in some way or the other because it's a tricky one. There's so much demand, there will be supply.
Yeah.
I'm a commerce student, so that was one of the first things that I have learned.
I was also a commerce student.
उसका मुझे फायदा नहीं हुआ कुछ अभी बट इतना मुझे दिमाग से फ्लैग मुझे याद है इकोनॉमिक्स में कि भाई वो एक है चीज. So
but I have to tell you this, mental health is something everybody is talking about right now. वो एक taboo भी नहीं है कि हम जा रहे हैं and we are seeking help or we are seeking therapy. एक मजेदार चीज है कि sometimes I watch just like your character in Kul also, a complete bad sorry Kul
that's fine.
Yes, Kul, a complete baddie in itself. मतलब ये कैरेक्टर्स करके ऐसा लगता है कि यार वो जो ऑल्टर ईगो होता है ना sometimes that you want to scream at the world and tell them and just take that revenge or something of that sort, you want to let that baddie inside you go a little bit but you can't because you're a public personality, you can't do that. तो वो थोड़ा ऐसे हवा मिल जाता है क्योंकि मेरे को कभी-कभार ऐसे कैरेक्टर्स देखकर ही काफी खुश होती हूँ.
मैं क्या करती हूँ ना, मैं वो स्टोर कर लेती हूँ दिमाग में एक फाइल में, है ना. फिर जब मुझे ऐसे पार्ट्स करने पड़ते हैं जहाँ पे मुझे एक्सप्लोजन का मटेरियल चाहिए, तो मैं वो ड्रॉर खोलती हूँ फिर.
I knew it. See, I relate. I completely relate. Yes, I do because when I look at characters like this, मेरे अंदर का भी वो चला था कि करो कुछ करो. Yeah, just scream it out. It's not true. Just scream it out. It's not true. So yeah, I do relate to that.
Yeah. So although I have to say that in Kul, Indrani, the part I'm playing, I don't think she's really a baddie. I feel like she's somebody who is so suffocated with her circumstances that it eventually explodes out of sheer just क्या word होता है यार, just the sheer inability to keep it in anymore.
Yeah, it's like a feeling of being cornered.
Yeah, it's like a pressure cooker.
Yeah,
वो फट जाता है end तक जाके.
Right.
And so she's not a baddie. I mean, it's interesting that you would interpret it like that, But
Great, yes. I just feel that every.
she's like another human being, you know. Anyone in that situation who's constantly needed to
Hmm.
keep it quiet, ladaiyan suljhao, you know, ye mat karo, wo mat karo.
Yeah,
She's a queen, she's a sister, she's a wife.
absolutely.
Like there's so much burden on her fragile shoulders that eventually by the end, what she ends up doing and how her life takes a turn, and then, you know, it's just somebody who just needs so much help, so much
Hmm.
therapy, so much support, and she's needed to provide that all her life. So
Yeah,
she's a victim of conditioning, generational trauma, you know, the societal expectations. She's actually a huge victim of all of that.
absolutely. And I think, in a way, I look at characters in a very gray format. There is always
You mean, I
white,
think,
black, and
yeah,
gray.
there's nothing black
And
and
I
white.
think that is what makes characters more believable and
Yeah,
more real to you.
because
You
it's
get
life
connected
like.
to it.
Yeah, you can relate.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I were in this position, I would have done the same thing. Ye pehle kyun nahi kiya?
Exactly. When she makes those choices, you understand ki haan, she's making it from this perspective.
Yeah.
And you're understanding and you're like, ki, I relate to that fact.
Uh.
I would have done the same if I would have been, being pressurized like
There you
that.
go.
So, yeah. Okay. We are talking about manifestations.
Ooh.
Yes, I
All
am
right.
very big on manifestation.
All right.
And I've
are you successful at it?
a little.
Okay, lovely.
जैसे मैं सोचती नहीं
सारा
हूँ
कुछ
ना,
चैनल करो आज, चलो.
हाँ मतलब मैं अगर सोचती नहीं हूँ और मैं बोल देती हूँ तो वो हो जाता है.
अच्छा.
वैसा वाला सीन होता है.
हाँ.
तो मैं वो सोचना वाला चीज है, बट आई ओवरथिंक अ
ले.
लॉट.
फिर कहेगा ये खुद ही बोल के खोली. Please decide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a little indecisive on that. But I will ask you, what is the latest thing that you're manifesting? What do
am
you
I
really
manifesting?
want to? Yeah, what do you really want to do next?
Oh, if I say it, then it won't happen. No, I'm a
Why?
little.
But isn't like manifestation putting it out in the world to
हाँ,
the
but
audience?
I think to myself, I think let the audience let it happen.
Okay.
There is stuff, okay?
Okay.
But let it happen, and then we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, and I'm manifesting a horror film with her.
You are?
Yes.
Like chalo, I'll give you one this thing. I'm manifesting like an espionage kind of a thing.
Ooh,
Back to the espionage. You
that's
know?
going to be
After
so
Homeland,
good.
I haven't done it.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
killer.
Nana?
Yes.
Let's put it out there. Let's see what
absolutely. Okay. But lastly, if I had to put Nimrat Kaur in a third perspective and ask Nimrat herself, how do you define Nimrat as a person?
I think I would define myself as someone who's flexible,
Right.
okay, versatile,
Absolutely.
realistic,
Yes.
dreamer,
Yeah.
hopelessly romantic.
Oh my god.
I am. I absolutely am. And about life. This is not, you know, like just
Yeah, you need to fall in
Yeah.
love with life. In
life.
general.
I am.
Only then you can be happy.
Yeah. And I think I am a bit of like a, you know, magic seeker. I look out for, you know, the magic reality, magic realism. I love that.
Same
I
here.
believe in that.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm in love with life. I
Yeah.
want to be in love with life because otherwise I know
Yeah.
it's just going to be very draining for
Yeah.
me. But yes, magic.
I know.
In everything there needs to be a little
There
bit
needs
of
to be a
magic.
little bit of magic.
But I need to know you more. So
Okay.
we are going to do the recommendations game.
All
So
right.
I'm going to ask you certain questions like what's your favorite comfort food,
Okay.
etc.
Yeah. So go for it.
Okay, cool.
Apni questions bata doge.
Okay, so first one. This is my favorite. What's your skincare routine like?
Very simple.
Yeah.
Extreme. I've used the same skin products, like skincare products, for the last 10, 15 years, pretty much. And there are certain basic rules which I don't go away from, which is using your sunblock, cleaning the skin firstly, for sure, like keeping your skin squeaky clean, like spick and span, and a good moisturizer. I have a normal to dry skin type, so I've never really had acne or breakout issues. But I have to look out for. But I mean, the other side is that, you know, you have to look out for the skin getting too dry. That's why the Mumbai climate suits me really well. You know,
Yeah.
so it's nice and humid, so it suits my skin.
Okay.
Yeah, so keeping the skin nice and clean and using simple products in the kitchen or in your refrigerator, and not changing skincare products too much. I feel like the skin gets confused, and it's not good to keep mixing, experimenting, trying. I feel like, if something works for you, stick to it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a nice recommendation. But what would be your go-to recommendation for a mask during
Oh.
summers? Like something that you
Yeah,
use
I
daily.
do. So I'll tell you, I use dahi, a little bit of saffron, a little bit of haldi in it.
Okay.
And what you can then do is that put it on your face and then let it dry.
Oh.
Okay, and then rub it off. So what happens is that it dries up and then it just moisten your fingertips a bit, and then just rub it off.
Wow.
All the dead cells and all the tanned skin, all of that just kind of comes off real well. And then splash some cold water, cleanse your face, and apply your moisturizer.
I'm telling you, she has great skin. I'm looking at it from here. पता नहीं तुम लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं, but she's good with it. Okay, a binge-worthy series that you recommend.
Adolescence. Brilliant.
Yes, I'm still yet to watch it.
Oh, please watch it. And it's something that really circles back to what I was saying, which are the perils of social media. Of course, with respect to teenagers and, parents and all of that. But it's like one section of a larger problem we're looking at. So brilliant.
Wow.
You must watch it.
And what is your go-to comfort movie?
Mr. India. I love it. I've seen it some 35, 37 times.
Oh my God.
I can't get over it. Yeah, I cannot get over Mr. India.
Is there a particular reason?
Every reason. What are you talking about? Everything is iconic. Whether it's Sri Devi ma'am or Anil Kapoor sir or, Om Puri sir. And my God, what scenes calendar.
Oh my God.
I know every Satish Kaushik सर उनके मतलब एक एक मुझे डायलॉग सीक्वेंसेस मुझे सब पता है. I'm obsessed with that film.
Okay. Your go-to perfume?
Mojave Ghost by Rido. Okay. It's nice. Why are you rolling your eyes like that? It's very nice.
I have never smelled it, but the name itself sounds very heavy. Yeah. Like wow,
no, it's nice. It's very sexy.
All royalty, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well.
Okay. Obviously. Okay. A book that people should read.
Okay, it's very simple, and that's the reason why I came to Bombay. It's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and I read it at a time in college. I was straight out of school, in getting into college, and I read it at that time, and it left such a big impact on me. And it's a time and place thing, like today if I read it, I'll be a bit like, yeah, whatever, aise thodi hota hai.
I've read it in college only.
Same. But so when I read it, it was a very critical time in my life because I was looking for courage to move to Mumbai. It wasn't easy. It took me a few years to actually start to think about it seriously and then do it. So I think that one thing, na, ki when you really want something, the whole universe conspires and makes it happen for you. I felt like that book gave me the courage for it.
I think that was exactly the moment when we entered into media. Okay. And I used to be scared of cameras. I could never face it.
Oh, wow.
Somehow. I used to get shaky legs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I used to choke up. And that is when I was reading that time. The same book, The Alchemist. Wow. And I don't know.
It's a great book.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great book.
And I got a lot of courage out of it.
Yeah.
And I faced the camera and it was like, uske baad sab theek ho gaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your favorite place for a takeaway?
In Mumbai, like a restaurant, Bougie. Yeah, nice. Like their coffee is brilliant.
Yes, I have heard of it.
And this is not an ad. I don't own any because people have started asking me that, do you have some business interests and, I said, no, I just love a good meal and a good coffee.
It's recommended for coffee.
No, they're excellent, yes.
Absolutely. A place to munch at, your favorite place to go and just munch at?
Well, Bougie is one, and then there's Veronica's in Bandra. I love going there after my morning walks. So I'm either in Veronica's or I'll go to Bougie or a few others. There's Shelter Cafe, which is lovely. They're all like within the same 2-3 kilometer radius. So these three places.
Okay. Favorite place in India that heals you from within?
Uttarakhand. Yes, the Himalayas there. Kumaon. Yes. Love it.
Wow.
Yeah, I love being in the mountains.
Same.
Anywhere, really. Actually, the Sahyadris love. I love being in the mountains. Just put me on a mountain and I'll be,
I am relating to her on such deep levels.
Oh my God.
Okay. A dating tip or a relationship advice to people?
Oh God, I'll need some. Especially in the world we live in now, everything's online.
Yeah, swipe
So,
left and swipe right.
I've never
Oh
been
my
on a
God.
dating app or anything like
Same here.
that.
I don't know
Huh?
how to use it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I hate
Even
it.
I don't. I mean, I've never even like been on one, so I don't know how to. So dating, I don't even know. I mean, this is something that how can I give a dating tip? I wish. I mean, if anyone has any tips, just let me know.
I haven't even gone on dates. Nobody asks me only. Okay, and advice to men or boys as a girl.
Oh, please treat your women like queens and you'll be treated like kings. Whether it's your friends or your mothers or your sisters, it's not just, girlfriend or wife specific. But I think that the one thing that women love is being treated with respect and, just love.
A girl to girl advice.
Girl to girl advice. I would say that try to find your long term goals. Short term, we all know this much money, that car, this new house, new boyfriend, whatever you want. I don't know, but long term goals. Keep some long term goals in mind. Not in a way where 5 years later, मैं अपने आप को how would I want to see myself. Something that's a promise to yourself in the long run, and then work towards that somewhere.
Yeah, that's a nice.
It could be a health goal. It could be a family related goal. It can be anything. But make some long term goals.
Okay.
And don't break promises you make to yourself.
Yeah, that is something that we need to look out for.
Yes.
Yeah. Lastly, an ethic you live by.
An ethic I live by?
Yes.
I never lie or deceive people. I really don't. I have never done that. Like, really, literally. And I find it infuriating when I come upon lies and deceit and, being different behind your back. I am what I am. In your room here, when I'm in my car, it's the same me.
You are the same.
Yeah.
The one that I met that day on Geo Hotstar sets, and now it's the same in this one.
It'll be the same me the next time we meet after a horror movie or an espionage genre show or a film or whatever.
At least this reassures me that I will meet her again.
Of course.
Yes, that's it then. Oh yeah.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
Thank you
for being so you and being so aspirational. Not only your characters, but you yourself are very aspirational.
Thank you.
And we need more people like you.
Thank you so much. I had such a fun time. And thanks for your sweet giggles. You're so sweet, and I can't believe you're like scared of the cameras.
Yeah, now I'm not. So yeah.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Keep watching this space for more. I'm Manjari Mukherjee, only on Pop Diaries channel. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to comment and tell me what you love about this. Bye.